Hey, Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic here. What we're going to talk about today is buying a new camper. This camper right here is a 2022 and I bought it in August of 21. And since then, actually I am up here right now in New York where we have it, to actually take it back to the dealership to have some things fixed already. And I just wanted to show you some of the things that's happened to my brand new camper already, or that were wrong, straight out of the box. So let's get to it. Now, this isn't in the order of the way I found them, but I'm going to save what I think is the best for last and just show you what I found so far. I want to go up in the roof and inspect the roof and stuff today before I actually take this camper down to the dealership tomorrow to have this stuff fixed. But I wanted to get this on film because it's a pretty decent day, so let's do that. So this what I'm going to talk about is actually the first thing that happened right after we got the camper. It may have been the weekend that we got it. We had the batteries charged up and everything, and all was going good. And all of a sudden we were in the camper. We always leave the radio on and everything, and a light usually too, and everything went dead, just like a power outage. And it's like, well, I'm not on 120 power, I'm on just 12-volt battery, so it's not a power failure. But yes, it was a power failure. I'll show you where the power failure is and what happened. So we're going to go underneath the tongue of the trailer here. And actually, if you look up here, you can probably see it. This is where all the ground wires come together on this trailer. Well, actually, what happened was the head of that bolt snapped off for some unknown reason, just sitting here, and took out all the power because there was no ground. So what I was doing was I was out here at 2 a.m. in the rain, actually trying to get a ground hooked up for the stuff that we needed to be able to run the 12-volt pump to get water and flush the toilet. So that was number one problem that I fixed. The dealership is relatively close, and they were good enough to actually run me up so I didn't have to pull it off site. They ran me some sheet metal screws up, self-tappers, and I tapped it and did it myself, which I had no problem with. But that was the first thing. So you can see my doggy under the table there. This is the camper. It's a nice camper. We do like it, but it just really stinks that we have these issues. And I want to put it out there because I never would have looked for these issues when I was actually looking at and buying this camper. So it's just stuff you got to really, you may want to make sure, you do want to make sure that you check very closely. So let's go down to the floor here. So I was actually walking around on the floor, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but right here, you see that indentation on the floor? They cut a hole in the flooring and left it there, or put a piece in with the hole in. So now, of course, that's going to wear down, and that's going to cause a problem. It's going to wear out the linoleum, or whatever you want to call this, and there'll be a hole there. So we're taking it back for that. And with doing that, they're going to have to put a threshold in and do this and that, but there's no other way to fix it. And what are you going to do? It's just very poor quality. Very sad. Very sad. So this is problem number 3. As you may know, my significant other, Helga, has a cooking channel, Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking. You may or may not know. And one of the reasons I picked this, and we picked this, was because it had an outdoor kitchen. So of course, Helga was all excited to use it, and we did use it. Well, one of the things that we noticed as we were using it was we were using it and the flame blew out. Now, we had the generator setting relatively close here that we run because we run off the generator. We don't have power ran to this. So we thought maybe that was blowing it out. So we moved the generator, lit it up again. Well, guess what? Same issue, same problem. So we were burning it again, and it would just keep poofing and making a weird noise. Eventually, I just said enough is enough, and I took it apart to see what was happening. Now, you can probably see this, and you may know where I'm going with this. There's two screws here, and the two knobs that I took off. They're laying over there. Let's pull this off, set it to the side. Do you see how black this is back here? Well, what was happening was they didn't have this pipe bent properly. Well, you can see we bent it now. The technician was up here and he bent it now so we could use it, but this was not matched up. And what was happening was the propane gas was leaking out of here and the flame was jumping from the burner down to here. Unbeknownst to me, I had no clue that's what was happening until I pulled it apart. Pardon me. Then once I pulled it apart, I saw that. When the technician came and took it apart to look at it and check it, what I didn't know is if you take, this is just a pan or a tub in here. I'm not going to take it off, but take my word for it, this is all melted back here. This thing could have caught on fire, could have had an explosion, what have you. But this is just some of the stuff that you run into with these campers. And what it brings to mind for me is if you have this outside here in this outside kitchen, what does your propane inside look like? Where it goes to your water heater, where it goes to your furnace. These are all questions that just bother me and you don't know about. You don't know what else might be underlying from this that you don't see. So there you have it. You think you want a new camper still? Hey, try and get one that's 1 year old or something that hopefully somebody got all the problems taken care of. This was a $32,000 unit. I don't think you should have to go through this and have these problems with it, but they're building them so quickly. That's the way it is. If I've come across more problems and I need to get them fixed, I'll be making more videos. I do want to say, I did email the company that built this particular camper. They claim they're a family-oriented company and all that. I went on to their website. I went on to their, I don't know what you want to call it, their complaint page or whatever, 3 months ago. And I wrote a thing, told them everything that was going on, how scary that was with that outside kitchen and the propane leak. And you know what? I didn't hear nothing. So I'm not really happy about that. But if that's the way they run their business, that's the way they run it. So anyhow, this is Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic saying, hey, just remember, if you can get somebody else to do it, especially under warranty, get them to do it. I don't know. Do you want a new camper or not? See ya.
Oh, you dirty, rotten bull! How could you break off? You dirty, rotten mother! Oh, dirty, rotten! How dare you break? Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Not again! Oh, man alive! Son of a... Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Jesus! No wonder I'm the disgruntled mechanic!